Hey there guys, welcome back to Pickleball Paddle Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about pickleball elbow. If you're anything like me and you never play any racket sports before, pickleball elbow or tennis elbow is probably not in your vocabulary, or not a type of injury you even ever thought of. For me, it was quite a surprise when it started happening to me. I started getting some pain in my elbow area. My hands were feeling numb. I was having trouble gripping my pickleball paddle. These were all symptoms that I felt when I started developing pickleball elbow. Pickleball elbow or tennis elbow, even golfer's elbow, is a type of injury where it's overuse or strain on this tendon and muscle inside your forearm. It could be caused by, constant feedback from hitting the ball so hard, or poor technique is one of the things. So you might be compensating with that muscle more, or you have a weakness somewhere in that arm area where that forearm feels like it's compensating and being overused. Anyway, for me, it was definitely from overuse and probably poor technique. I was trying to learn how to hit a forehand roll drive, and I was just, every opportunity I got, I was forehand roll driving. I was just doing it constantly over and over again. I could definitely feel like sometimes I was flexing my forearm too much because my wrist had to be in position to do the right drive. Anyway, after doing it for hours and hours, definitely I was feeling that pain. So for me, the road to recovery started with rest. And with rest, you really want to ice the area so that it can reduce that inflammation right away. What I ended up doing was using one of these, which is a Thera ice, and I think this was for the legs actually, but it fit my elbow perfectly. It provided a little bit of compression and a little bit of, coldness. You could just use a regular ice pack too, but I found this to be quite convenient. It came in a pack of 2 or 3, and I just throw it in my freezer, and then whenever I watch TV, I put this on, and then when it gets warm, I just switch them out. I'll have links to all of the items that I did use down below, and then if there's any discount codes, I'll also include them. They're affiliate links, so they do help out the channel, and of course, hopefully they do help you out as well. If you have any other recommendations for products like these, please put them in the comments too, because then we can share different ways that we have cured our pickleball elbows. Anyway, yeah, I would wear this around the house to reduce that inflammation. It really helped a lot when I wore this on the first 1 or 2 days that I was recovering. It really brought down the pain. And another product that I ended up using was this Incredible Wear arm sleeve. And how I learned about this was the older gentlemen at my pickleball club were talking about tennis elbow, and I walked up to them, and these were guys that were tennis players, golfers, and that have been experiencing tennis elbow for years already. They recommended this, and they said it wasn't cheap, and it's definitely not cheap. I think just this armband or armband set was like $70, and this was $40. And they said they had tried many different sleeves, but this was definitely the one they recommended. Now, this doesn't rely on compression, so it's not exactly really tight, which is part of the reason I could wear this around when I was resting. This is the one that you wear around whenever you can, all day while you're sleeping. It supposedly helps with the inflammation and recovery or blood flow to that area. So yeah, this I think was one of the best recovery tools for my pickleball elbow or tennis elbow. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. I normally don't believe in these compression sleeve type things, but this actually really helped with my recovery. And I don't know if it's a placebo effect or something, but for me, it worked. All right, so next up was exercise. For me, exercise is really important because you want to develop the muscles to really prevent that injury from coming back. And so because this is a forearm injury, you kind of do want to wait for that swelling to die down, and I'll give it a little time for your forearm to recover before you start this. But I got this TheraBand Flex Bar. You could kind of use anything that also does this twisty motion. What you do is you just hold it and twist this and hold it in an isometric hold. This will help you build that muscle in the forearm right here to kind of counter the tennis elbow. And also you want to twist this the other way and also hold that hold. Now the benefit of using this is that you'll get a workout on both of your forearms, so this is nice. But yeah, I leave that by the TV, so whenever there's a commercial break, I'll just throw it up and do it over and over. Some people even keep it in their pickleball bags as a warm-up tool. They'll just do a few sets before they start playing. I think the most important thing with that is consistency. So you do want to make sure that you're doing it as often as possible to make sure that forearm muscle is strong. Last but not least, we're talking about what you can do on the court as well. So I already talked about wearing the Incrediwear sleeve. This is the one that you wear while you're playing. This goes right on that elbow area and really is kind of nice because it doesn't rely on compression. It's still kind of flexible enough so that while you're wearing it, it's not really bothering you. Another thing that you could do is also check and make sure that your grip is the right size for your hand. Many times a bigger grip, especially if you already have tennis elbow symptoms, is going to help a lot. So maybe adding an additional overgrip over the stock grip of your paddle will kind of stabilize it, or using a paddle that has a bigger sweet spot. Anything to kind of reduce that vibration going into your hand. Hitting drives really, really hard will also kind of re-aggravate that tennis elbow if it's getting so much trauma from you hitting so hard. So you might want to look at getting some overgrips or a Hesacore grip. One of those will work. Either one is probably gonna be appropriate for you if you have tennis elbow. I'll include links to everything down in the description, but if you have any recommendations too, please put them in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys, and like and subscribe if you like this content. Peace.